All right, what is up, YouTube? This is the GoatCast podcast for this week. I am CW, joined by BigNige. We may be joined at some point by Sports Talk Only, but unfortunately, I have to. Oh, here we go. Here's Sports
There we
Talk.
go.
Oh, let me see. What's going on, Sports Talk Only? I don't
He's
think
muted.
My bad, I'm muted.
Okay, what's going on?
What's up, man?
And we got my man BigNige. What's up, BigNige?
Hey, what's up? Just got done recording on another channel, so I show up here a little late, but
Well,
we all
that's
good.
fine.
We ready to go.
Yeah, well, I'm going to get right into it because I have to leave a little early, but we're going to let these guys discuss this topic, and I'm going to go through my part of it fairly quickly. But as you see, we're asking, how do you measure greatness in an NBA player? A few weeks back, we did the GOAT debate, and we've talked about different players, why Hakeem Olajuwon is great, why Charles Barkley, Dominique. But what is the baseline? What is our thoughts on why these guys are greater than the next guy? You know, there has to be some type of formula, some type of criteria that we use to measure how great these guys are. And I'm gonna let BigNige go real quick since he's I'm gonna pick on him. So he's gonna go real quick and then we'll discuss this further. So how do you measure greatness? How do you measure LeBron being your GOAT or Michael Jordan being your number two, whoever's in your top 5, top 10? How do you measure that?
Yeah, so I think it's a combination of a few things. I know this is like later on in the video, but I know you talk about stats, winning, championships. I think all of those, and I won't touch too much on it since that's a further segment, but I think all of those do factor in when you talk about how you measure greatness in an NBA player. But if we're talking about just a regular player, like we talk about defense, what makes Hakeem Olajuwon so great. It's not just how good he was on offense. Some people say his defense was even better than his offense, right? And then you got shooters, greatest shooter of all time. Some say Steph, some still say Ray Allen, some have other players out there. Like, it's what can a certain player do to such a high magnifying level that nobody else can do it like them, right? We talk about passing ability. We talk about Magic, Jason Kidd, Stockton, whoever you want to throw out there. These guys are known for doing certain things, certain aspects at a higher level than anybody else. And, that's why we think of those players as being great. We talk about scoring. You got MJ, all the scoring, all the moves that he has, but you also got LeBron because he's the all-time scorer. Like, you can't deny that. No one's ever scored more points than him as of this recording. Will that record ever be broken? Who knows? I might not live long enough to see that record get broken. It's that great, and he's still playing. Right? So you have to give all these different players their respects. And like, that's how you would measure greatness, is because all these players can do great things at such a high level that it can't be replicated. You just can't.
Okay. I somewhat agree with that. And we can talk about stats and all those other criteria that we have for measuring greatness. I just got to show this real quick. Yeah, there's the GOAT. But as far
I don't see LeBron, my guy.
we ain't gonna get there.
We looking at the GOAT. He's right behind me.
No, go ahead.
I did a video on my other channel, GoatCast Hoops, where I talked about, how do we measure this? Is it stats? Is it rings? What is it? So I created a baseline. I created a pyramid kind of what the foundation for what I believe makes a player great. And that's winning. That's the foundation. If you're not winning, then what are you doing? We can't call you a great player if you can't win games. So that's why Tim Duncan on my top 5, top 10 list is so high, is because he was a winner. And that's what you're there for. That's what sports is all about. You have to win. And so that's my baseline. I took number 2 is impactful statistics. And what I mean by impactful statistic is if you're playing the game and you're just scoring, is it affecting how the team wins or loses? Are you just putting up empty stats? And that happens. Cade Cunningham, he's a good player, but he's putting up empty stats because he's on a bad team. They're not winning. So can I call him greater than LeBron or John Morant or these guys? No, because his stats might look similar, but what he's doing is his impact isn't affecting the winning on that team. And it's not all his fault, but if you're that guy, you got to get the job done. We talk about Jordan and those early Bulls. We talk about LeBron James and those early Cavs, or those Cavs in the mid 2000s. He was able to take a team that maybe on paper doesn't look like, the top team, but he was able to pull them as a great player to places that they probably wouldn't get without him. So then at the top are rings, because if we just said rings, Bill Russell would be the GOAT. And obviously you look at his stats and look at certain things, he's still a very important player and should be in anybody's top 10, I believe, because of his impact on the game. But if you look at some of his stats, they weren't great. They're not blowing you away. Just like Tim Duncan, some of his stats don't blow you away, but it's what they did as a total, from the winning to the impactful statistics to getting rings. And, if you can do all of those things together, then you're obviously a great player. So that's my 2 cents on that. What you got, Sports Talk?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it's like the totality of everything that you do. So like, it's not just the numbers that you put up or the stats. It's not just the winning, not just the accolades. I think it's the, like, if you're talking about guys that are in the upper echelon or in on another tier, I think it's the totality of everything that they've done in their career. And you could also add like the like just using your eye test too. But I think in totality, the record you own, the stats, the amount of championships you got, what I actually see with my own eyes, that's how I value greatness in a player. But if you're gonna ask me like what would be more important between stats and championships, if you're talking about who's a better individual player, I would have to go with the statistics, because you stated earlier, winning more championships, if it was just about the championships, Bill Russell would be the guy, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say in every scenario, but if we're talking about like, guys that are extremely close, like let's say a Jordan and LeBron, I'm gonna have to go the statistics. As far as if you're talking about who's a better individual player, or just that's just an example, you know what I'm saying? So that's my take on it.
So just to throw some scenarios out. So Kobe's a guy that I've grown to respect. I wasn't a big Kobe fan, but do you all think that some of the reason why he's not at the top spot anymore for some people is because of some of the years where he was supposedly a top guy, but his teams weren't winning? As far as right after they traded Shaq, it took him a little while to get a team that was formidable. And then, during that time where he had Dwight Howard, Steve Nash, after Field, post Field, do you think that's what kind of hurts him from being in maybe that top three? I know some people have him in the top three. I just can't, because he had those down years. Do you think for a great player like Kobe, do those years really hurt him because he wasn't in any kind of contention during most of those years that I talked about? And while he was putting up the stats, it wasn't equaling, a championship or even in contention for a championship.
I don't know if I would say it hurts him, but I don't think that's the reason people don't have him in the top three. A lot of people don't have him in their top three. I think more so because when you look at well, first of all, the one MVP thing, he got one MVP, and then when you look at the guys that are like, okay, most people at this point, it's LeBron, Jordan, Kareem, in whatever order. But those guys were pretty much the main guy and the catalyst for their teams. And the way a lot of people look at it is like, he had Shaq, so he was playing that back seat. For me personally, I would say he wasn't, the guy enough as far as like individual dominance. I think I wouldn't say like having Shaq hurt him, but if you're talking about being a top 3 guy, I think that is the reason why he wasn't the guy enough for me.
Okay.
I wouldn't say those years necessarily hurt him because you could look at any player and when they didn't have a good team, they might have put up a lot of numbers or something like that, So I wouldn't say those years hurt them or that's why they don't have them in the top 3.
Okay. What you think, BigNige?
I kind of think the Shaq years, I think that hurts him because when you like start stacking resumes and comparing them to one another, finals MVPs are not the end all be all, but like you can have like he has 5 chips, but if you don't have as many finals MVPs as Jordan, LeBron, like you have that how great Shaq was, it kind of makes you, in some eyes, not mine, but some people's eyes, it diminishes Kobe's value for those Lakers teams. I'm not saying Kobe wasn't amazing because he was, but if the finals MVP is going to the big fella, who was obviously is widely known as the most dominant player to ever play, well, you benefited from having probably the most unguardable center we've seen since Wilt Chamberlain or something. So I get, like I said, it doesn't kill his legacy or nothing like that. But when you start stacking resumes and you're saying, is he better than Jordan? Is he better than LeBron? Is he better than some of these other Pantheon greats? They start nitpicking.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think some people would pull him out of the top 5 because of how dominant Shaq was in some of those finals runs. That's not me personally, but I'm just telling you why some people would pull him out of that top 5.
Okay. I kind of agree with both of you. I think for me, what hurt me with Kobe was those years because he was, I'm not going to say dominant, but he was, a lot of people don't realize that he was kind of just as dominant as Shaq during those years. But Shaq was more important when it came to those finals, but Kobe did help a lot in the build up to getting to those finals. He helped a lot when they had to take on those Spurs teams. I watched them. So I think for me, when Shaq left, when they traded Shaq, that 2004 season where they got all those players, couldn't win, and then what followed, to me, kind of hurt Kobe's legacy because you can't be in your prime or getting into your prime and not be in the playoffs. And just, if Jordan or LeBron or any of those guys had been, if 2012 and 2013, 2014, 15, LeBron couldn't even make it to the playoffs, I think we'd be having a different conversation as far as the GOAT debate. I don't even think it would be a debate, but yes, Lakers do suck. But I just think that when you are such a great player and you just can't get your team to that, and we can forgive Wizards Jordan, we can even forgive Lakers LeBron post bubble championship. We can forgive him some because he is older and he just didn't have the guys to take the reins from him. But Kobe was in his prime at that time, and it took some rebuilding and took a lot of time where they didn't get what they needed to get for Shaq. And that's not Kobe's fault, but I think that's what really hurt Kobe's legacy. Now, my next quick question before I leave, because I'm sure you two have a lot to say about what I'm going to ask you. But I just have one question for the both of y'all. When did LeBron James leapfrog Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Kobe, and all those greats that were in that top 5 before him. What did he do to leapfrog them? I just want to hear from you guys to let me know when that happened or what he did for that to happen. It don't matter who goes first. Whoever wants to go first.
Do you want me to start? Do you want to start?
Go ahead. You could go first.
I'm not going to spend too much time on this because at this point now we're getting into, personal opinions. There are some facts obviously in there, but it kind of starts from the media perspective. I'll start there. Once he got in the conversation, I think probably after the 2016 championship where they beat the greatest team of all time, and that 73. Look, statistically, talking about stats, that's the greatest team ever. Better than the 72 Timberwolves. How you want to rank them is how you want to rank them. When he beat that team, I think that opened the floodgates because he had done something that's never been done before. Coming back down from 3-1 in the finals, that garnered him. That was the it chip, giving Cleveland the ring that they've been coveting for a long, long time. You already had the 2 in Miami. You get number 3. Obviously, he still was going to get another one down the road, but I think that was the chip that got those wheels moving more because, they can always say, well, Jordan never did that. The rebuttal to that is Jordan never got to a Game 7, right?
Yeah.
Fairness to him. But again, when the media starts running with stuff like that, that's when now those conversations are more prevalent and everybody is having. It's now LeBron versus MJ. We're not talking about Kareem. We're not talking about Magic, Bird. We're not talking about none of those people. It's Jordan. It's LeBron. And because LeBron already had the numbers, like he had the numbers 8 years ago, right? To be in that conversation, right? If we're just having a conversation of who's the GOAT, yeah, he had the numbers then. You give him 8 more years to get more numbers, another championship, whatever. What I'm saying is, after you look at their totality of their careers, I would say that 2016 championship, as great as it was, put LeBron in that conversation. And that's, again, you have a different opinion and you will always have a different opinion. It really doesn't matter what LeBron does today, yesterday, 10 years ago. It doesn't matter to a Jordan fan because LeBron can do nothing
I can
surpass Jordan. And as a LeBron fan, like I said, I can admit that Jordan has some greatness to him, and he's not my GOAT, but that's personal.
Some.
It's personal.
Oh, man.
I
wish I had time.
He is great. I'm just saying, at that point, when you talk about GOAT, it's an opinion at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what facts you throw out there, what opinions you're standing on. Nice tail, by the way, CW.
I'm a partner with me.
But it's all opinions at the end of the day. So me personally, I just said 2016 is the year that he really got the respect enough to be in the GOAT conversation and leapfrog everybody else that wasn't named Michael Jordan.
That's a hell of a take, I would say. You asked when did he? Okay, your question was prefaced on like the guys he passed before he passed Jordan, and then when he passed Jordan, or was it just when he passed Jordan?
I missed that. What'd you say?
I said your question was it prefaced on saying like was it when passing the guys before he passed Jordan?
Yeah.
When did he pass those guys?
Yeah. So did he pass them before he passed Jordan, or did he just leapfrog everybody after the 2016 championship or whatever accolade you guys believe catapulted him to GOAT status?
I'm gonna piggyback on what he said. So, in my opinion, by 2013, after that second chip, you could make an argument that he was top 5. So that's an opinion that I had. I definitely didn't have Magic over him, or Kareem was over him, Jordan was over him at that point. But
hold on, real quick. So Magic went to how many finals in the 80s? I think they went to 8.
think he was 5-3 or 5-2 or something like that.
He went to 9.
9. Okay, so he almost ran the 80s into the 90s. I mean, I guess what you're going to say is he had Kareem.
No,
Old Kareem.
definitely not. I'm not
So,
going
but
to
you
even say that.
never had
I'm talking about as a player.
as an overall player. You think
If I
LeBron has
2013
been,
LeBron, there is
yeah.
no version of Magic that can match that.
Okay.
But I'm just going to go with kind of like where he went with it. You could make an argument that he was top 5 before 2016. After the 2016 finals, that's really when the conversation started. And it's not just the 73 win team. It's not just the 3-1 comeback. For me, it was leading both teams and everything. Like, yeah, nobody can say in any playoff series. He did it in the finals too. So personally, that is for me. That's when I would just say if you were make the argument that he was top 5 at that point, which I would say he was. Once 2016 happened, he leapfrogged everybody for me. It was no longer a conversation for me because as an individual player, nobody can say that they were better than that. Nobody can say that I was good enough to do that as an individual player.
He leapfrogged even Jordan for you after 2016?
Yeah. As an individual player, yeah. Now, if you want to talk resume, maybe not.
Okay. So, but okay,
But so yeah, those are two separate things. As an individual player, yes, he was. To me, he was better. Nobody at that point, nobody could say they were better. If you want to talk resume, when did that become a thing? Probably 2020. A lot of different things happened. He won his 4th chip, 4 Finals MVP, and then he started adding all the records on top of that.
Okay,
and the statistical dominance just started adding up.
Okay, so 4 and 6 is okay since he has the statistics.
So he lost. Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say he lost 6. He's for where he's at in the pecking order. He's lost the most finals of any of those guys. Does that not weigh into you guys's?
Okay, so
measurement?
just saying he lost. A lot of people lost. Everyone. The only guy that's won more than he's lost is Bill Russell. So him losing. Now I could understand if you made the argument he choked 6 finals away.
I wouldn't say he did.
Now,
that.
That's what I'm saying. So if you say he choked 6 finals away, if LeBron choked those 6 finals away, sure, I would give you that argument. I will even give you, if you want to say 2011, but just saying 6 finals losses on face value, that's not a good enough argument for me.
Okay. I unfortunately have to leave because I got to pick up my son, but you guys are free to continue this conversation. But thank you guys for showing up, and thank you guys in the chat. Unfortunately, I have to leave early because some conflicts, but these two are very capable of maintaining the show. So I will see you guys next time.
All
right. I'll pick up kind of where he left off. This show wasn't going to be very long anyway, but I'm just curious. I want to get your thoughts real quick. When he talked about winning being one of the most important things when discussing greatness in a player, and I wanted to bring this up before he left, but I didn't have the time to squeeze it in. I'm curious why people have MJ and they have him as this highly touted winner, when if we want to look at win percentage, he's all the way at 40. And I don't know. I guess you could bring up the 6-0 in the finals, but we talk about win percentage and being a winner. I'm just curious why that isn't brought up into question when he's not even top 10 in win percentage, but he is considered the greatest winner ever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's just the finals record, man. That's really what the basis of the argument is. And then you heard, he just asked about LeBron losing 6 finals. So that's kind of the basis of where Jordan fans base their argument. Jordan was undefeated in the finals. LeBron lost 6 finals. When it's really to judge, okay, so when we say greatest of all time, we're not talking about a team or a team record or a team accomplishment. We're talking about individual players. So I never really got what finals records had to do with it. Now you just saw what I said. Oh, I said, if you want to say LeBron choked 6 finals, like if he choked all 6 of those finals away, I could see that being the argument. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's not like he, in every finals that he played, he just didn't show up. He had the better team in all those finals, and it's because he choked. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
when we talk about the Jordan Ben 6-0 thing, I don't really know why. I can't. You would have to ask a Jordan fan that because it's not something that I can really explain. I don't know why that's the measuring stick. Now I understand why you could consider Jordan the GOAT, and I can understand why that could be part of the argument. But just because somebody lost and Jordan, and you got to look at it like this too. It's not like Jordan played 6 years. He
Yeah.
played 6 years, and that's how they tell the story of Michael Jordan. Like he just played 6 years. Them the only years that matter, but they count all the points from every other year. They count all defensive teams from every other year. You know what I'm saying? So, but you would have to ask a Jordan fan as far as like why they make that argument. He's not, the top. I think personally it's just because the 6-0 in the finals, but I can't answer that.
And then I'm a rebuttal because I know we're talking about like our great players. I know me and CW before he left, we've done our top 5 like all time on this channel. And I was curious who's in your top 5. I guess it doesn't have to be in any particular order, but on the
Okay.
spot, you got for your top 5 all time.
LeBron, Kareem, Jordan, I want to say Wilt and Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan. Okay. And so I don't see a point guard in this list. So I'm curious. So Magic Johnson doesn't make your top 5 because he's in my top 5 because he's the greatest point guard ever, in my opinion. Although you can make an argument for like Jason Kidd or I ain't saying Stockton. Ain't no way you can get me to say Stockton. But if you say Jason Kidd, you might have a conversation or something. He don't have the stats to back it up, but he is one of the greatest point guards to ever play. So I'm not gonna be mad if somebody says it. But I did see that you didn't have a point guard in your top 5, so I was gonna get your thoughts on that.
What exactly? Top 5
Like,
point?
no, like as in like in your top 5 all time. Like you didn't have a point guard. I mean, because LeBron
Okay,
kind of is a point guard, but yeah, go ahead.
so Magic is in my top 10, right? I don't know necessarily exactly where I got him right. I think got him between 6 and 8. I think I'm gonna go. He's 6, but um, as far as if I'm ranking players, my criteria is it's kind of based off what I said earlier, like the totality of your career. So when it comes to this is why I rank Kareem over Jordan. I think Jordan was a better individual player than Kareem, right?
Right.
But when we talk about the totality of your career, there's only really 2 guys in that conversation that have, all those accolades and the statistics and the records and just everything and was dominant for 2 decades. So I have to rank Kareem over Jordan, and I have to put LeBron at number 1. So I just put everything in totality, like I said. Your stats, championships you won, your accolades, and the records you own, and just like I said, the totality of your career. So we both know nobody has a better career than LeBron. Been down there for longer than LeBron. So that don't even really got to be discussed. Kareem, obviously, he kind of had the same career span. He got the 6 championships. He top 3 in like 3 different categories. He was the all-time leading scorer for like 4 decades, stuff like that. Michael Jordan, I don't really, need to go through that. We could just say his individual ability. I already said something like that, and then all the accolades and stuff. Wilt, his statistical dominance is really what makes me put him up there, because I think those the three guys that are the most statistically dominant is LeBron, Wilt, and Kareem. So
Okay.
I put Wilt up there for his statistical dominance alone. So, and then the reason I got Tim Duncan at 5 is because he kind of had a long career. He was a great defender for the majority of his career. Uh, he's got 15 All NBA selections, 15 All Star selections, and 15 All Defense selections. He's, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's got the 5 championships. He got, I think, 2 MVPs. He got 3 Finals MVPs. There was something else that I'm missing though. Oh yeah, he never missed the playoffs in his career.
Okay.
So it's just when I'm point I'm trying to make is like, okay, them are my reasons for those guys to be in my top 5. I just look at the totality of everything, pretty much, and I also look at your individual ability. What I saw with my own eyes, that kind of stuff. But I just mix it all into one, and just base it off my opinion.
They're giving us some flack in the comment section.
Why?
And
What are they?
I see. So this Jason said Jordan had no weaknesses and was the most fundamentally sound
Man, here
player.
we go. I'm tired
Oh,
of hearing he had no weaknesses, man. We could go to his 3-point shooting, and you know what? I'm gonna make a video about that on my channel, truthfully, because his own teammate, BJ Armstrong and Rex Chapman said that he had a weakness, and his weakness is guarding quick guards, chasing guys around screens. That's a weakness. 3-point shooting is a weakness. He over gambled on steals a lot. That's a weakness. But I mean, we could just say he don't got a weakness because we want to paint Jordan as this perfect player that 6-0, like you said, and he never lost a game, he never missed a shot, he never turned the ball over. That's
I,
like the thing is, I know LeBron has weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? Like I can
yeah.
admit he had weaknesses. He had his failures, but it's like with Jordan, it's like you can't bring those up, or you know you hating on him or something. Like I don't know. But I think as LeBron fans, we kind of okay. I'm not gonna speak for you, but I go to a lot of different panels. And a lot of those guys have LeBron as the GOAT. And what it's become now is like tearing down Jordan because they've tore down LeBron so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never seen a player that's looked at as like, oh, we just judge him by his negatives until LeBron. Like everything, if you've ever heard Jordan fans, they say the reason why LeBron is, or they say Jordan is the GOAT, and then they say they don't even give the case for Jordan being the GOAT. Like I can argue Jordan being the GOAT better than most Jordan fans.
That's
And
fair.
what they do is, oh, LeBron, see, and they memorize every negative moment about his career. They be like, he shot this in this final. He turned the ball over at this timestamp, and it's just crazy. And like I said, I think they really just made him into like a deity or something like that.
Yeah. It's hard because like how can you like because they're going around saying like yeah I watched Jordan with my own eyes. I'm like, brother, I wasn't alive that long. I was born in 2000. I didn't get to see Jordan until after I started watching basketball and rewatching stuff. And it's like I didn't grow up watching Michael Jordan. I grew up watching LeBron. So for them to just yeah, I saw Jordan. I saw the toughness that he had, the integrity of the game, and all that stuff.
Oh, you talking about sports and fitness rats?
It's like I just don't get like I understand a lot of these people just genuinely don't like LeBron, and that's fine, right? You don't have to like him, right? But the fact that we're having this discussion all the time, it just shows how worried they are about Jordan falling out of being the GOAT. Like you have people, tons and tons of people saying, "Oh, LeBron's the GOAT," instead of having an actual basketball conversation, they just say, "Oh, LeBron can't shoot. He can't be the GOAT. Oh, LeBron takes plays off on defense. Oh, he throws too many turnovers. He's this. He says bad things in the press conference." Like all these things, I'm like, bro, we haven't even began to talk about the actual sport that you're saying he's not the GOAT in. If you don't have him as the GOAT, again, that's fine. But your reason can't be because, oh, he's lazy. Oh, he's boisterous. He's too
Pretty much
has all
just
these
making up
opinions.
narratives. Yeah.
And I'm just like, bro, like, what are we talking about? Are we gonna talk basketball? Or are you just saying you just give me reasons why you don't like LeBron as the man, not as the
And
player?
and that's kind of what happened last time when I hopped on. I was like, it was starting to become a LeBron hate fest. As soon as I was like, damn, man, like,
You showed up. It's good you showed up when you did because
yeah.
who knows what would have happened on that
and
live.
and and that stream is kind of funny too because it's like I I wasn't even me or you wasn't even able to. She would say something right, and then as soon as you address what she said, that's not what I said. Interrupt you, change the argument, change it. I'll be like, yo, I ain't even got to make my point yet.
For real, that was just nuts. I was not expecting to have that conversation. Like when I said LeBron, like I was like obviously I meant it, but I wasn't about to expound upon it. I was just going to
Yeah,
say, yeah, LeBron would dominate in the '90s, but I was going to talk about Nikola Jokic. But not even 2 minutes into me saying that, the floodgates open up, and now here she comes saying all these things, and I'm like, as soon
yeah,
as I get to
man.
say address one point, she got 5 others to throw at me. I'm like, oh my goodness, bro.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's just crazy, man. Like, I want to ask you a question. We gonna go back on topic, but I want to ask you, like, what made, like, was y'all like looking at my videos and decided that y'all wanted me to come on, or like what was that about?
I think
Because
CW would speak on this better than me, but I will say that I think you pulled up to one of our live streams a couple of times, and you
yeah,
like I think
I
you were going
did
back
one
and forth.
time.
Yeah, you went back and forth with somebody in the comment section when they were saying something about LeBron wasn't this and MJ was that, and you were like, actually, and when you proceeded to kind of like let them know, and I think you kind of resonated like that because again, you like you said you had pulled up before, and I think CW had saw your channel and then like looked at it, and then he was like, oh yeah, he's definitely a LeBron fan, and then because we were trying to get more people to come on the panel and like start
Oh yeah,
having
that
these
makes sense.
conversations and everything,
Hmm.
but he could speak to that more. But I'm pretty sure it's because we saw how engaged you were in the comments and
Uh,
just the
well,
way
yeah,
you just
he's the one that reached out, and I just saw the comment on my channel, and then he emailed me or whatever. But I was just wondering.
yeah. You guys got me. What do you say? I'm an old head, okay? And I've never had the urge to call into a YouTube show, but you guys
Hey,
got me
you
frustrated.
you could put the link up to come for him to come up.
Is he still trying to come on?
You could,
Jason,
I
are you
mean,
trying to join the
you could
chat?
put it up. I'm not gonna interrupt. I'll let you talk. All that.
Let me see if he's all right. Let me see. Copied it. All right. Let's see here. We'll go ahead and drop the link for you, Jason. And let's have this conversation if you are still
Uh, and
old
and
head
it's
trying to have
and we not gonna be like Jordan fans. We gonna let you say whatever you gotta say, but then when it's our turn to talk, you gotta shut up. You gotta just let. So we gonna let you do what you gotta do.
see. See, here we go again. Here we go. He said, because I mean, I did drop the link. So if you do want to come on and have this conversation with us, more than welcome to. But he did say he respects others' opinions, even if he disagrees. Bron's a great player and first ballot Hall of Famer, but he's no Jordan. Duh, because he's better than Jordan. Duh, you don't gotta be Jordan if he's already better than him. But
Yeah, I mean, I kind of
bro,
forgot what we was even saying. I kind of sidetracked it with the YouTube thing, but
I mean, it's good that we finally got back on here to kind of address the last live stream, like how mean CW did in our last week's video. So it was good to at least get your side, get your perspective, kind of try
Man,
this out.
I wasn't even able to, like, it was just crazy. I was trying to talk that whole time. They wouldn't answer my questions. They was cutting me off. I'm like, and then I'm seeing people under, like, in that live stream commenting, oh, they cook sports talk only and all this stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I wasn't even able to say nothing. How, so you call it cooking, being interrupted and never been able to make your point?
Oh,
I
for
guess I
real.
got cooked then. I guess we
Jason
both
said
got
give him
cooked.
1 minute. So yeah, Jason said I guess he's gonna call in soon. But yeah, I guess by that
We,
logic, we both got cooked
yeah,
because
we got destroyed apparently because
that's a blur to me because ain't no way
man,
you gonna call in and then have a conversation with me, but I get no time to respond. It's like I was better tell CW just go ahead and mute him, man. Let me at least say something before she
right.
interrupts me for like the fifth time and spend 2 minutes. So,
You know
but
about oh my bad. Go ahead.
go ahead. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, you know about Goat James Kingdom?
I think they're the ones going back and forth with Michael Jordan fans are the best.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
be over
I
there a lot.
can
I'll be over there a lot. I love that channel. But I'm just asking because I'll be going back and forth with the Jordan fans on there. I'll be going on the live streams and stuff, but trying to really get a show like that or a panel like that.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I haven't. They have like the goat. Was he the goat kingdom or whatever? What's his name?
Goat James Kingdom.
And how big is their panel over there?
Well, their original channel got about 2.7K subscribers, right? But they kind
Mhm.
of, do you know who FYF Sports is?
I think I've heard of him before.
Well, yeah, is Lamont run that page over there, and he kind of let collab with them and let one of the guys from Go James Kingdom go on his channel and run live streams, and that channel got like 154,000 subscribers. So
Mm,
it'd be like Friday at 8, Friday night exposure, what do you call it? And then
okay,
Sundays.
okay. Might have to call into that show and see what's up. I think I'm gonna leave with one more question. I was gonna give Jason a little bit more time to see if he was gonna call in, but I know I got somewhere to be in a little bit, and I didn't want to keep you much longer.
Yeah.
Let me see. I had the question written down somewhere, but it's escaping me for a second. But pretty much, it was going to be about like some of the teams. Like, was there any team like you were excited for like this coming like NBA season? Because I know me and CW put some videos out there about some of the teams and how we see them going into preseason. Are there any teams you're excited to watch for this upcoming NBA season?
Mm, OKC
Mhm.
and the Timberwolves.
You don't got the Sixers in there, Paul George.
Nah, nah. He kind of got a history of like, and when it comes to the playoffs, I think it has more to do with his injury than anything because like he when he was on that Pacers team, I feel like he was more explosive, even more clutch, and just like I don't know, man. There was something about him before that injury that was different. So
Oh, I agree. I agree.
and that's no shot to him, but I just feel like after that in the playoffs, he just had like I ain't gonna say he got a history of not showing up, but there's just sometimes he just like man, you he it's just something off about him. Well, I don't trust it. I'm not excited to watch it. Embiid is not, when it comes to the playoff rising, like they might do great in the regular season, and hell, I ain't gonna say because they might get to a conference finals or NBA finals, but it's hard to see, especially with Embiid and like I said, Paul George kind of iffy. They just iffy, so I'm not really too excited for that. But I'm excited about OKC. OKC always been my team for like they my number one team. Durant was my number one player once upon a time. Westbrook
Mm.
was one of my favorites too. Still is. And then the Timberwolves, because I think they have a really good roster construction all around, and like I would say their versatility on defense. I think that's really what I like about them. And you know, I thought that they were going to give the Mavs a harder time than they did, but
They showed their youth. They'll be right back. They definitely
yeah,
showed their youth, and Towns definitely didn't do y'all any favors with his inconsistency. So
but what was I going to say? He's not going to have. He ain't calling or nothing.
nah, I don't think he's trying to pull up. So
Man, we
I'll
need
probably
somebody
leave
to
you
pull
with this
up.
last question, since we
Okay.
are both LeBron fans, both got places to be.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the Lakers not making any moves this offseason? And do you see anything salvageable for this season for the Lakers?
No, I don't. I'll just leave it. Yeah, no. They're not going to be able to do anything this season. And really they relying on an old broken I don't even want to call him an old broken down LeBron, but I mean compared to what he was in his prime, it's an old broken down man. He can't do what he used to do no more. So they're relying on him and Anthony Davis, who is either injury prone, or if he's not injury prone and he do show up, it's him and old man LeBron carrying the rest of the roster. They ain't got no depth. They ain't got no third consistent option. So yeah, it's pretty much a wrap. They like trying to put it on him as though like he's prime LeBron. Like if this was prime Bron, man, it'd be a different. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they would
Uh-oh.
even make some moves.
Jason
But
up in here. Okay, hold up.
yeah, they're not salvageable.
What's going on, Jason?
Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing?
What's up, man?
Doing good.
What's
So
all this craziness you're talking, man? LeBron better than
Craziness.
MJ.
what you mean?
Yep,
Of course he's better.
LeBron's a goat.
Absolutely, LeBron is the GOAT.
Yeah.
But when I think I said earlier something about Jordan had no weaknesses. I noticed you all kind of laughed at that. But what kind of I was just wondering, what kind of weaknesses you all think he had, like as a player?
I'll let Sports Talk take this one.
Let's say 3-point shooting.
3-point shooting.
Hold
Well,
on 1 second. That's not it. If you
okay, you
wanna,
got it. Yep.
I'm gonna name off a little bit. Not really like
I'll let.
okay, 3-point shooting. Uh, I heard BJ Armstrong and Rex Chapman say one of his weaknesses was chasing quick guards around screens, so guarding quick guards. And I think he over gambled on steals a lot. And you
Yeah,
could
I
make an
mean,
argument. And you could make the
uh huh.
argument. This is my last one. That he was too selfish at times, but that's just my take.
Yeah, I mean, I remember Jordan when he first came in the league. He got like a lot of flack for you know being selfish. But I mean, if you look back at those early teams he was on, and his team wasn't that good. So I mean, plus with the steals, I mean, uh, he gambled a lot on defense, but that got him a lot of steals as well. He was a great defender, defensive player of the year, 1988. So I don't really see that as a weakness. Um, but also his 3-point shooting, everyone knows that they didn't take threes back in his era like today, but when he shot them, he could shoot the three. He just didn't take threes. You know what I mean? I think he averaged for his career like 32 or 33%, which isn't great. But I mean, LeBron is like what 34%, 35, 34. And if you look in the playoffs, Jordan averaged. I could be wrong, but I think it's like up 40% in the playoffs with the three in a handful of seasons. You know what I mean? So to me, I just don't see that as like a weakness.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you got your opinion. That's fine. But
Yeah.
Just if you're asking me, that's what I would say.
But you said you heard it from B.J. Armstrong, right? I mean, did you actually watch Jordan play back in, or just highlights later on?
No, I didn't get to see Jordan play like fully. No, I didn't see his full career. If that's what you're asking.
Oh, okay. Well,
But I was just gonna say
yeah.
my thing is not necessarily. I don't think it's like downing him to say he had a weakness. I think that every player has a weakness.
Oh, definitely, man. Like no player is perfect, but I mean, in the totality of everything, I mean, like I heard you also say, Jordan fans like to just say 6-0 and that's it.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Oh yeah. I was
when
just
Jordan,
like, oh, go ahead.
uh huh. No, go ahead, man.
Oh, I was just saying, like, I mean, normally, like, okay, I talk to a lot of Jordan fans, and we have this conversation. And
Uh
when
huh.
it comes to asking them, why is Jordan the GOAT? Why is he better than LeBron? It's the main argument is the finals record thing, and then the other thing is just pretty much downing LeBron, and that's pretty much it. Not really making the case for Jordan. That's my point. Like I can make a case for Jordan right now without saying he's undefeated or 6-0 in the finals, and I'm sure you probably could too. So I'm not saying all Jordan fans. I'm saying the
The
majority
ones
that
you
I,
talk to,
yeah, the majority of encountered. That's like their main argument.
The
and then
toxic
at the
one.
same, oh, I see. And then at the same time, they try to put down LeBron, right? Kind of to
Yeah,
raise
yeah,
Jordan up.
like
Oh, I
not
see.
not even in a way where it's like okay, we all could look at any player's career and nitpick at them, but it's like I don't see if we making a comparison between two people, you don't just look at the negatives of one player and then look at the positive of the other player and then be like, yeah, that's why he the GOAT. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I mean, but again, see, to me, I kind of look at it like for the goat, I kind of look at it like I think I typed this in there, but like how much winning did you do while you played? Individual accolades that you achieved as a player, and then you got um, then you got like the impact on the league while you played. For the fans, and like Jordan took the league global. You know what I mean? But that's LeBron can't really do that because Jordan already did that. But I mean, I think would you say the league is more popular today than it was back, let's say, in the '80s or '90s?
Mm, I would say yeah, because you got to understand it's kind of alludes to what you just said. After Jordan did what he did,
Uh huh.
of course it's going to be more popular now because that impact. So yeah, I would say it is.
I want to go off. I want to address one of your last point where you talked about,
Okay.
Jordan globalizing the brand. My counter to that is LeBron. He's the first player to finally kind of put everybody's careers in their own hands. Everybody makes this big deal about the decision, but it also opened the floodgates for players, role players, bench players, star players. When they want out, they go out. For better or for worse. I'm not saying it's a great thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But we did give players the decision to take their careers wherever they want to go.
Oh, you mean as far as like clutch sports and all that, like what he created there with his friend, and is that what you mean? Like helping direct players to?
Like not just clutch sports, but I mean, like, yeah, clutch sports obviously plays a part in it because it's, the face of clutch sports is obviously Rich Paul, who's, LeBron's, longtime friend, but it's just giving players like, Kevin Durant would have never made that kind of decision to go and join Golden State if he didn't see somebody like LeBron go do it first. And even though James Harden gets a bad rap for it, I mean, he's quit his way at a whole bunch of teams. But the point I'm getting at is all these players who would have never done any kind of drastic moves like they're doing today, it all stems from LeBron. It all stems from LeBron giving players the blueprint to take their destinies into their own hands, right? You don't see players just wasting away in, these small market teams and just, continuing to lose games. You can see the front office and the star players are not on the same page. Players have a leverage nowadays because of it. You can't just keep giving mediocre, rosters out to these star players because they'll leave, right? And they've shown Giannis tried to hold Milwaukee's feet to the fire when they weren't, and he felt like he wasn't putting a contender around him. So,
What's
it just
that?
shows, it just shows.
I'm sorry, I was just trying to walk across the road real quick. No, my bad. No, go ahead.
But yeah, that's LeBron's impact. He's giving players leverage.
Well, I see your point, but I mean, do you think that is like? So you think that's a good thing and like the way to go, or just another avenue he created for players if they want to do it? Because a lot of my friends would say, that like Jordan, he came to a terrible team, but he stuck it out there the whole time. I mean, and then he worked it out through the draft, or not him, but the GM. And once Pippen kind of became like an all-star level player, that's all he needed to, go to the finals and win those 6 chips. You know what I mean? A lot of my friends would say that, you probably heard this too, but like LeBron, he was kind of in a similar thing. And I was, I respect LeBron regardless, but I really respected him when he first came to the league because he was a great player. But him leaving Cleveland, that kind of like to jump with 2 other All-Stars, like everyone knows. I mean, a lot of my friends would say he kind of took like an easier route, instead of fighting it out and doing it the traditional way. But
I think that comes from a lack of trust in the front office, right? Like if you're a player like that, and you see you've given Cleveland ample time to try to show steps, put a team together that I can contend with, right? But if I continue to lose to a team like the Celtics, who's fully loaded, KG, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Rondo, he was really good. He wasn't obviously no all-star at that point, but still really good pieces around the Celtics. And I'm LeBron, and I'm going against them. Who's my second option? Who's my third option? Like I'm looking around myself, and I don't see a roster that's built to win a championship, right? But that's not on LeBron to build that roster. That's the GM. That's the front office decision. But if they don't put a team around him, I can't fault him for leaving because you want if you're that good and you're talking about being the chosen one and all that stuff, you have to have a team around you. You said it yourself with MJ, right? Yes, he stuck out the grind, but his GM, his front office showed capability to bring in a roster. They drafted Scotty, and Scotty became who he became, but that's understanding the GM process in the front office. He had a good front office behind him to make it worth his while to wait, unlike LeBron.
Oh, I see what you're saying, man. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Jordan didn't really. I mean, I grew up as a kid watching Jordan's whole career, and his first three-peat. I mean, he had just like good role players, and like I said, 1 All-Star and a good coach. But I mean, no one was already established and then brought in. It was all like natural, kind of like how Golden State, the Warriors started off, with Mark Jackson coaching them, bringing in Clay and Steph and Draymond.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Then they won. You know, they won a chip. Next year, you know, lost to LeBron. Uh, so you know, like I'm trying to say, it can still be done. You know, to me, if you do it the natural way. And I think, you know, people I talk to, maybe I'm wrong, but they seem to respect if you win a title that way more than, let's say, you know, how LeBron is choosing to do it by, okay, talking with people through clutch sports in the off season or whatever, however he does it. You know, let's talk together. Hey man, let's get on a team. D-Wade, you know, let's get together. You know, D-Wade said it himself. You know, he was like watching Kobe win his 5th chip. He's like, hey man, what's going on? You know, we need to. So he started, you know, talking with LeBron, and they kind of, you know, got together. You know, it's kind of like, I think MJ said this himself. He was like, you know, I think some reporter asked him about LeBron going to Miami. He said, well, that's something that I wouldn't do. He said he knows things are different now, but I mean, it's like him trying to ask Larry Bird in 1988, 89, or, you know, another all-star, a leader of their team to come play for the Bulls, or, you know, that kind of thing. He said, no, I wanted to compete against them. I wanted to beat them, not play with them.
Yeah, I mean,
But I understand it's different times, though. You know, it's definitely different times. And like I said, I am older, you know, so probably older than you guys. But how old are you guys anyway? Actually, you said you were born in 2000.
Yeah, I was born in 2000.
Oh, okay.
But
I'm under 30, a little bit over 25. So I ain't gonna give my exact age, but I'm.
Oh,
I'm a little
you're
up
under 30.
Under
Okay.
30, a little bit over 25.
Oh, okay, man. I got you. Africa, what's your name again, man? I think. So I was just scrolling through, and I happened to find you guys. But I think I recognize your voice. Do you have your own show too? Like your own YouTube channel?
Wait, who you asking me?
you talking
Yeah.
to me?
I'm sorry, man. I know you. Yeah.
Not really. I mean, my
Oh,
YouTube
you don't
channel
have
name is SportsTalkOnly. Like I do videos sometimes, but not really too much. Like,
Oh, okay.
not like that. Nah, I ain't like really too into it. But yeah, I upload videos on my channel sometimes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll probably think about someone else, but
All right.
yeah, man. I mean, like I said, I respect everyone's opinion. I just, you know, thinking, you know, the totality of things. Like I hear people say, well, hey, you know, Jordan was 6-0, but you know, he couldn't get out of the first round his first 3 years. I mean, or they'll say, well, you think Jordan never turned the ball over or missed a shot? I mean, like, everyone knows that, you know, no one's perfect and plays the perfect game, but in the totality of it all, what he achieved in only like 13 seasons with the Bulls, it's just like, to me, a pretty, he just set the bar, like a pretty high standard, set the bar so high, you know what I mean? And even 30 years later, it's like, who are people, you know, comparing themselves to? It's Jordan, you know what I mean? But that's just my opinion, man.
Yeah.
You know?
You seem like a more reasonable fan. I'm gonna put it to you like this: we don't come across reasonable people. We come across people that cut us off in the middle of us trying to talk or make our point, or you know, they got a problem with us having LeBron as a GOAT. Like, I don't really care that you have Jordan as a GOAT. Like, that's your opinion. I'm not gonna crucify you because you think Jordan's the GOAT, and you're not sitting here crucifying me because I think LeBron's the GOAT. So you're more reasonable.
You came back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was listening to you guys.
No, definitely, man. I hear what you're saying. I mean, because, you know, when I'm talking with someone, you know, I want to hear their opinion. You know, if I'm just screaming over you, it's pointless, you know, kind of. But, yeah, some people take it too far, man. Like with this, you know, following the whole situation with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and all this back and forth. Or now she's in the first round of the playoffs. And she just got poked in the eye, and the, you know, fans are being racist and all this stuff, and talking nonsense. But they're just competing, man. You know what I mean? So I see what you're saying. Like some people can be ridiculously, I guess, unreasonable. You know what I mean? But what's up with LeBron's flopping though, man? That's another thing that bothers me. Is the guy's so big, so strong. Why does he have to flop?
I agree. I definitely agree with you.
I mean, you
Oh, you
can't
agree with
ask
that one?
you have to get LeBron on this panel and ask him why he flops. I cannot answer that for you.
But
I'll
yeah,
do
yeah.
it.
I mean, I'd love to do that. I mean, I'd ask him a bunch of things, But what do you think about it, man? I mean, do you think it's like when I was a kid, I used to play soccer a lot. Played basketball later, but in football or in soccer, they often try to get fouls called on them from flopping, but it doesn't look. It's not a good look to me in the NBA. You know what I mean?
You asking me what I think of him flopping?
Yeah.
Well, I don't really have an opinion on it. My personal opinion, yeah, he too damn big to be doing what he be doing sometimes. But I've heard from teammates of his that the reason he does it is because he's so big and strong that when guys are hacking away at him, a guy that's like of lesser stature, they could see the foul, they could see it and the effect, but because he's so big and strong, they don't see anything. So he, according to his own teammates, he will sell the call because they're not calling fouls. That's what I've heard from his teammates.
Yeah, I think a
Iman
lot of people.
Shumpert, to be exact, and
So like
Kevin Love.
he's frustrated. He's frustrated not getting calls, so he's trying to
Yeah.
get back at the refs, right, or something like, or get a
No,
call.
not necessarily get back at them, but like they won't call because it's like they don't see, like he's just too big. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't see it on him because he's so big. He's bigger than most people in the
Yeah.
NBA.
I mean,
So
it's the Shaq effect.
he'll sell the call, so they'll call it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing that happened to Shaq. He got fouled a whole lot
Yeah,
more
that
than what
too.
was called. But because he's so big and
Same as
strong, they weren't going to call it.
the Hacky Shack.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I've seen. Well, I mean, I understand where you come from, but like I've seen LeBron not get touched and then start shaking and then leap out of bounds.
Yeah. Thank you for stopping by, Sports T. We appreciate it.
Appreciate
You
you.
know what I mean?
Get
A
you
little
back in here
different
real
than
soon,
like.
Sports
Oh,
T.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, sir. You're fine.
Oh, no, go
No,
ahead.
I was just saying it's a little different than like maybe let's say what James Harden was doing when he's driving. I noticed he kind of made it into a little trick or like a strategy to kind of hook the defender's arm with him and get a call, a foul that way. But with Shaq, man, they were, especially in if you ever watched Jordan in the '80s, I mean, especially against teams like the Detroit Pistons, they were tackling him, man. Like he'd go up, they'd slap him on the top of his head. He'd go up, still dunk it. You know what I mean? And they're like punching him, 3 or 4 players, all in the lane. And Jordan would come down. I mean, I remember one time against the Knicks, versus Patrick Ewing and the other power forward. I forget his name now, but he went up. They fouled the hell out of him. Jordan kind of laid it in, and then he looked down at him, was just screaming at him, shaking his fist, like take that. You know what I mean? To me, that's more of just that's more power to me than just trying to flop for a call. So yeah, that's my opinion on it. You know what I mean? But
we appreciate you calling in, Jason. as a
Yeah,
fellow
man.
Jordan fan, yeah, thank you for stopping by because I was out. So I know you were double teamed by two LeBron fans, but you have a fellow Jordan fan here
No,
right
we
now.
ain't even. We had a nice civil
Chilling.
conversation. We wasn't yelling. He was cool. He was
Had a
actually
nice
unlike
Yeah,
some other
man.
guests that you had.
No,
Uh,
man. I'm glad you came
okay,
back, man, because these guys were talking crazy nonsense, man, and they were like
Nah.
very unreasonable, man. And
yeah, I heard about the Jordan weakness, the 3-point shot. Jordan said that he didn't want to
Oh
fall in
man.
love with that shot because when you start making them, you want to shoot them more, and that wasn't his bread and butter. So he didn't shoot a whole lot of them. If you look at his contemporary Steve Kerr, for his career, he only shot 2 threes a game for on average, and he's one of the best 3-point shooters. So they didn't shoot him like that, which it was. I mean, it wasn't a shot that he shot a lot because of what he said. He didn't want to fall in love with that shot and just just shoot him out of the game like what happens now a lot of times. But I just want to throw that in there.
yeah, I mean, I heard that same interview too. Wasn't he saying like, I just don't want to be, hanging out at the 3-point line. It takes away
Yeah.
from so many different things in my game. Uh, he doesn't want to like develop that kind of mentality, but also, have you ever noticed like Jordan would, when he took him, he could hit him, man. He was, like
Yeah, he wasn't
he
a, he
was a
wasn't a
pure
terrible
shooter, and
3-point.
yeah, and a lot of times he would just use the three as a kind of bailout, or like at the end of a
Yeah.
quarter or a half, or the end of the game or something for a game winner of it,
Yeah, it was a
And I
shot
think
he
he had,
went to when he had to. It wasn't a shot that he went to because he wanted to on a you know game by game basis. It wasn't his bread and butter. We got Brian here. There's something he wants to, I guess, ask or say. So we're gonna let him come on in. What's going on, Brian?
Hi, how are you doing, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me in this discussion.
Oh,
Um,
no problem.
I just want to speak about the LeBron James flopping accusation. So, if you notice, if you search the videos on YouTube, you'll probably see 3 8 to 10 minute videos of LeBron flopping. So, and if you notice, it's probably around 20 videos in which 15 of those probably is from the Heat. So you've been doing that only from 2011 to 2014 with the Heat. So it started in the probably in the mid 2000s. If you remember, Manu Ginobili is doing that, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
Chris
you were a
Paul,
flopper.
yeah, and then other guys. And then back in the day, when I was playing, I'm 42 years old, by the way. When these guys started flopping, me and my friends started to follow that also because it seems pretty cool back then to play around and make fun of the referees or the defenders. But now it's just so I think LeBron did that, and then because he think it's cool and sometimes it's effective on the game. And then when the backlash came, he stopped doing that. But it occasionally happens with the Cavs in 2015 to 2018, and it happens probably once or twice a year with the Lakers now. But if you watch all the videos, he will probably have an average only of one flop, or maybe yes, one flop per year. So I don't think he should be labeled as a flopper because it's not his part of his game, or it's not part of his 20-year career. But because it's LeBron James, people will just exaggerate it, you know. And
Mhm.
back in the day, I also seen Michael Jordan flop. I have videos on my phone. If you guys want, I think you have already seen that on Twitter or in Instagram. He also flops. Not really what players are doing today, but he did it many times. But the thing right now is the James Hardens, the Joel Embiids, and even Nikola Jokic. Jokic doesn't get slandered for that, but he does it a lot. If you watch his game, I think you would agree, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, if it's like anybody, if a kid finds out they can get away with something and it's going to work, they're going to continuously do it. So players see that that works. And Ginobili, all those Chris Paul, all those guys were doing it. It
Yeah.
works. So obviously, since you're a superstar, you know the referees are going to be looking at you under a microscope all game. So if you bump into a guy and fall into the third row, he has no choice but to call it. Now, if that's Bronny, then you're not going to get that call. They can throw you out of the arena, and referees will go blind. But yeah, I mean, it's just a natural part of the game. If you see something that works, I mean, it's like a 3-point shot. They saw it started working, they took more. So now they see that flopping or exaggerating movements helps them get calls. I mean, that's what they're going to do on a daily basis. So I don't really
Yep.
fault LeBron for that. I'm not one of those that gets on LeBron about being a flopper.
Mhm.
But as big as he is, sometimes some of them, come on, you way too big to be falling back and half dead over some of the stuff that he falls back on. But yeah, I mean, it's a part of the game.
I just don't like the way Embiid does it because he does it like all the time, and James Harden. But for some players, I think it's cool if you don't do it uh for a living, if you understand.
Yeah, that's their way of getting bailed out on bad shots and bad plays. So they use that so that they can rectify what they do or did on the court. That's just my 2 cents. I don't know about the other fellas on the
If
panel, but
if I mean, I started watching in 1995, so I was a big Bulls fan. If you can remember, Dennis Rodman, who is known for one of the most physical player of all time, Karl Malone, who is a very physically imposing player as well, is known for flopping. If you have seen what they done in the finals, you seen that
I was
they were
they
Rodman
was
and Malone
Rodman was
flopping.
being physical with him though. That was yeah, Rodman was if you watch Rodman, I was watching some of his stuff not too long ago. He was able to push Alonzo Mourning around, Shaq, those guys. So don't let Dennis Rodman fool you. He was strong. So I think Karl
Yep.
Malone did that because he was getting bullied a little bit down
Mhm.
there.
Yep, and Bill Laimbeer too. Bill was also flopping during his time.
Nobody cared about Bill Laimbeer. He was just out there for 5 fouls.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Patty
Bloody
Cake,
Divac was known for flopping.
Patty Cakes, LeBron flops every game.
Uh, who said KD? Yeah, I think KD does it. He flares his hand every time, even though it doesn't hit the defenders don't hit his hand. Sometimes he just hits the ball or maybe his fingers, but he just flares a lot, so the referees will call a foul. He does that also, KD.
Yeah, Patty Cakes thinks differently. LeBron flops every game. What is this guy talking about? Yeah, LeBron flops a little bit more than once or twice a game. He averages about 3 or 4 flops every
I
game.
think Luca's the worst, if we're gonna be
No, no,
honest.
no,
I
no.
mean,
I don't think so.
yeah, Luca's on another level when it comes to that.
So that's my opinion.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
Luca.
LeBron
Luca.
definitely does.
Very young.
I mean, that's the game now. A lot of flopping, and there's no handshaking. So
Sound like a transformer going
Yeah, I was.
on.
Oh, can y'all hear me?
yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say that was interesting. From what's the guy's name that was just describing the flop?
He was Brian.
Okay, man. Yeah. Uh, but I don't know. I've never seen myself like Jordan flopping a lot. Have you guys seen him flop?
I've seen
There,
him
there are
flop.
videos actually.
There are videos out there. Okay. I mean,
Mhm.
when you were talking about LeBron, I thought you were like, when you were like, hey, there's videos out there and LeBron averages about one. I thought you were going to say like one flop quarter, you know, but you said one a year, right?
Uh-huh.
But okay. I'd have to check that out there. You know, I didn't really notice it from Mike, but definitely Dennis
No, no,
Rodman.
no. Just check the YouTube videos. It has three 10-minute videos. So well,
Oh,
my my problem with that is the other place or videos posted was a legit foul. So let's say they posted on one video they posted like 10 LeBron flops. Two to three of those are actually fouls, legit fouls. He was hit in the head, he was pushed at the back, those type of things. Some were the clear ones were with the Pacers when David West didn't touch him and then he just frailed. And then just look it up on the YouTube. You could see it. So
I
probably
will,
a
man.
hater made those videos, so some of them are not legit flops. It was legit fouls.
Hey, you said you started watching Jordan like in 95, 1995.
Mm-hmm. And, yeah, I started watching him in '95, and then right now I still watch his games from '95 below. So yesterday I watched his game against the Lakers, which is regular season, and in 1988 Lakers. And then I also watched the entire 1993 finals, 92 finals, 91 finals, Eastern Conference finals, 92 and 93 against the Knicks. So I watched them all because I wasn't watching them before, since I said I started watching in '95.
One
So
of y'all
maybe
got an
later, if
echo.
I have time, I'm gonna watch again some of the
Okay.
games, live games, full games.
Think one of y'all need to exit out YouTube or something.
Yeah, I think we're good now. But BigNige, I know you got to head out here in a minute. Or are you good?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm about to head out here.
Okay, yeah.
Got somewhere to
So
go.
we appreciate you guys, Brian, Jason, everybody that showed up. Patty Cakes, Jordan never flopped. He flopped a few times, but what he went through,
By the way, guys,
with
are
those
you
Pistons.
streaming every day or on a regular? Do you have a
Yeah,
schedule?
we stream every Tuesday around 7:30. So please hit that like and
Oh,
subscribe button to help us out. And we'll be back. We come every
yep.
Tuesday. Myself, BigNige, hopefully Sports Talk will continue to come on with us. We just talk basketball.
Let's do this every day.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you on that one.
Say that again.
I said let's do this every day.
Every day. I wish I could, but time won't allow it. But
Uh,
we will do it as much as we can. And like I said, every Tuesday we'll definitely do it. But we might pop up every now and then to do a special stream or something like that. But we do appreciate you guys coming on and just talking with us and giving your opinions and 2 cents. We really do appreciate that. And hopefully, guys, this won't be your last time. Come back. We're going to have way more topics going on. Seems like the LeBron Jordan stuff is very popular, but that's not what we're going to talk about every week. But
Could I
it will rear its head every now and then. We'll talk more about
could I ask Brian one question before y'all head out?
that.
Hello.
Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
sure.
Oh yeah. After watching, I was just wondering. You said you went back watching MJ. I just want to get your thoughts on who you think the GOAT is, or if you have someone who you think the GOAT of the
Mm.
NBA.
Oh yeah. The goal for me is LeBron James.
LeBron.
Yep.
Okay.
Good
Yes,
man.
sir, LeBron.
Man,
Oh,
now
man.
3
You
on
just
2.
attracting all the LeBron fans. What's going on?
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's all good.
My man Gregory Champion, we're going to finish with your comment. It's crazy how LeBron can be number one with so many flaws and can't understand why Jordan would be one with little to none. Dang.
Jordan has a lot of flaws also. I can explain that.
Oh, man, we got to keep the show going, man. We can't end on that.
One of y'all
Yeah,
gotta
man,
exit out of YouTube.
I just found this channel, guys. I was too late.
Mr. Brian, which flaws? Which flaws does MJ have?
Okay. I'll start with we're not supposed to compare eras, right? I'm down with that. I respect that. But some people, maybe like you, you will compare them. You will say that 1992 Dream Team will beat 2024 USA. So that's the time I jump in and then compare these guys. So let's say you will compare Jordan to LeBron or any other player, and he will play the game. Today's game, as a perimeter player, yeah, even as small as Michael Jordan, who is only 6'6", you need to have a 3-point shot. You need to have a 3-point shot. And if Michael plays today, based on what he was doing before, he only shot one attempt per game on 29% shooting from three in the real line because the line was reduced from 1994 to 1997. So it boosts its three-point shooting. But from the real line, line, he was bad on one attempt. So that would limit his game today. Imagine him asking for a screen and defenders will just go under. Whereas Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Kevin Durant will shoot from the logo, will step back, sidestep, fadeaway threes.
Okay, real quick,
Okay. All right.
just to add something, the NBA right now is actually the shortest it's ever been. So I think it's like 6 foot 6.5 inches. So Jordan in this league would actually be pretty tall, and guys like LeBron and KD have an advantage because they're a lot bigger than most of the guys. And you know, with that size difference now, uh, it's a little different. They got a little bit of a little bit of help as far as height goes, whereas Jordan played with a bunch of giants. But appreciate your thoughts, Brian. Hold on one second.
Uh-oh, what's that? Gosh, that's me.
Oh, sorry guys, my Google Home thing went off. So if that's all the questions, I have to go ahead and get out of here. But we appreciate everybody for showing up. As we said, we're here every Tuesday, 7:30 until. So we're going to open the lines more each week. So we hope you guys will show up and we can have these conversations.
I had one question.
Okay, we got.
I saw you put in the chat. You said you're gonna bring Jordan fans on next week. What did you mean by that?
We got to even this out. I can't be the only Jordan fan on here and have you.
I'm just like, who are you bringing on?
Oh, who am I bringing? Oh, I don't know. I was just talking, but yeah. I mean, it's fine with just us. I can handle it by myself, but never know who will show up on here. We'll try to get some more some different content creators, some different people on. Let me see what Swish says. Greatness is measured by elevation of your surroundings, teammates, organization, stats. Yeah, I mean, I agree. So with that said, you got anything else? Sports talk?
Nah, I just plan to be on next week.
Okay, you gonna be here next week?
Yeah, that's the plan. I'll let you
Okay.
know, but that's the
All
plan.
right. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna bring you into the GoatCast podcast crew. So we want you to keep coming to us, and of course, you guys need to check his channel, Sports Talk Only. I saw your last live stream. I know it's pro LeBron, but we'll forgive you for that. But yeah, if you ever want us on or want us to stop by, just let us know. And
Okay.
once again, appreciate you coming on. Appreciate Jason, Brian, all of you guys for helping us out tonight, and everybody in the chat. And as we said, we'll be back next week at the same time.
What time y'all start next week?
We try to start usually at 7:30
Okay. All right.
Eastern time.
Eastern time. Yes, sir. Yeah. All right. Man, I enjoy being on there. I've never called into a show before, man. So it was.
Yeah, come on back, and we'll let you back on if you got any questions. And Brian, yes, you can definitely next time you're on here, when we're on, you can definitely get back on and do whatever topics, whatever opinions you guys have.
You don't just talk basketball. You said you talk other sports or just other things in general.
But mostly basketball. But we can divvy out other plays. But okay, that was definitely a Mike Jordan drop. So we will be back next week. And once again, I said appreciate you guys. And see you next Tuesday.
All right. See you later.
Nice to meet you.